Welcome to Absolute Counter, episode 15.
Top 5 Game of the Year 2019.
Hey guys, Magus here.
And this is Darkscream. So, how was your
boy.
week? Or how's your Christmas going?
It's been pretty good.
Oh, that's good to
Pretty
hear.
good. A lot of Witcher 3.
Oh,
a lot
really?
of Witcher 3, you?
Me? Well, Thanksgiving, I got a big pay bonus, so I kind of went hog wild on their digital sales. So I bought like 6 games and saved up enough digital currency to buy an extra 7th game. Among them is
nice.
Among them is like another Divinity Original Sin 2, which, by the way, that game runs just as well as it does on PS4, which is impressive. Pillars of Eternity, the first one. I also picked up a couple indie games like Katana Zero and Ape Out, where you play as a gorilla and you just fucking like run around, escape while killing random gun soldiers, and it's all accompanied to jazz music. I like it. I also picked up, just because I don't have enough space on my PlayStation anymore, and I don't feel like deleting a whole lot of games. In fact, I'm gonna have to think about that when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, but I picked up for about half the price Doom 2016 for the Switch. And yeah, it's not technically like on the same level as the PS4, obviously, but the gameplay is still solid fun, and I had no like weird hiccups or huge issues or anything that made me like regret purchasing this. In fact, I'm still having just as much fun as I did playing it like 3 years ago. So yeah.
Allow me to interject something real quick.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Witcher 3. It's the same exact thing. I feel the same exact way that you do about Doom on the Switch, even compared to its PS4 counterpart. So I just thought of that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, if you don't have a PlayStation 4 but you're curious about Doom, this is a really good port to check out. Same with The Witcher 3. Same with Divinity Original Sin 2, which is multiplayer.
Yeah. One thing about Divinity Original Sin 2 that I don't like about the Switch port, maybe I'm missing it, does not have local co-op.
It doesn't?
I don't think it does.
Damn, that sucks. Because couch co-op, because you can couch co-op in that game, even though it's like a open world explorative RPG. When you do break off with your partner, it does turn into split screen mode and stuff. I remember that in the first game. Damn.
We were supposed to play last week. Hopefully we can play this coming week.
Perhaps.
But things got so crazy. I just got to make a new character.
I still continue to buy some games. I picked up The Outer Worlds on PlayStation, which is a technically superior game to most of Bethesda's stuff that comes out, even though it looks and feels like a Bethesda game. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not running off of their fucking shitty engine. It's running off of the Unreal 4 engine. But, you know, the game's story, whatever, it's pretty fun for what it is. It's not, like, super amazing, but I would still recommend it. It's a pretty fun RPG. That definitely takes a stab at some corporate bullshit here and there. Oh man, that game is so. It's got that weird, goofy bleakness from Fallout 2 into it. That's for sure. And I also picked up this week the expansion to Monster Hunter World, which is Iceborne, which will motivate me into getting back to playing that game, which I have. I've done a couple hunts already. I'm a little rusty, but I'm getting the hang of things again. God, Monster Hunter World was fun. That was my time sink. I put over 200 hours, like in the span of like 3 or 4 months, back in 2017.
You know, man, I might as well. This is a better time than any to confess. Monster Hunter, I've tried it.
Yeah, which one?
I tried Generations on the Switch, and I've tried World because friend lent it to me. Not my cup of tea, man. I just can't get into Monster Hunter.
What is it that you don't like about it?
I get the appeal. It's just. I don't know. I just can't get into it. Just not my cup of tea. I don't know why. I get it, though. I get the appeal. But, I guess each to their own, as they say, right?
Right.
Yeah. I was going to... Real quick, I wanted to ask you a question. I was talking about Witcher 3. But speaking of Witcher 3, I know you probably know about this. Have you tried the Witcher 3 free DLC for Daemon X Machina?
Heard about it. Apparently, they have skins for your pilot that can turn them into either Geralt or Ciri. For Daemon
That
X
would be
Machina?
awesome.
Yeah, that's what I heard,
Yeah.
which is nuts. Okay, see, there's been a lot of Japanese games crossing over with Witcher 3, but they all made sense up until this point. Soul Calibur
Yeah.
6. You know, Geralt's from like a medieval-ish setting, so it makes sense for him to go toe-to-toe with characters like Siegfried and Mitsurugi. Monster Hunter World had like a Witcher DLC gear, as well as a mission where Geralt actually goes into the new world. That makes sense. Geralt hunts big monsters all the time, and I've actually been wanting a crossover like that for a while. But Geralt in a fucking world with giant robots and shit? Okay. But then again,
Let me say something real quick. Oh, go ahead.
but then again, there might be some crossover happening with Cyberpunk 2077 because I don't know if you got into this point in your game, but Ciri actually alludes to Cyberpunk when she talks about the world she's visited.
We'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you, my friend. I think the reason why The Witcher 3 crosses over so much with Japanese games is I see more sensibilities of JRPG in The Witcher 3 than I do other Western RPGs. And let me elaborate.
I do. I see it here too.
Okay, like they've got that strange, like The Witcher 3 is a very dark game, but it's got those quirky sense of humor that a lot of JRPG has too. You know, like just those strange missions, like what's his name, that dwarf friends of yours. He asked you to go get Gwent cards for him, just shit like that, or the drunk scene. You know, where
oh yeah, that scene.
Geralt contacts the winner. Yeah, it's got that. Whereas a lot of North American RPGs, even Mass Effect to a degree, their sense of humor is a little bit more dry and it's more serious, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like in Witcher 3.
The humor that comes from Skyrim. Yeah.
In Witcher 3,
Yeah,
in one of the flashback missions with Ciri, they have like she has like a conversation at some bathhouse, and I'm like, man, this fits into like one of your typical Hot Springs episode in any generic anime. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It really does. And another thing to add to that too is you look at the humor in Skyrim. The humor from Skyrim is not intentional.
What about that one mission that's supposed to be a homage to The Hangover?
In Skyrim?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that one, but most of it's not.
Huh.
Like the memes, like arrow in my knee and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. That was just
and all
memed.
the fuck.
Yeah, whatever.
And all the fucking like quirks. But you know what I mean. That's why I think The Witcher 3 appeals to me and you. And I also think that's why even a game like Divinity Original Sin, even though it's very gameplay and it's very constructed much like a classic JRPG,
classic RPG,
a lot of its sensibilities and humor are quirky, just like a JRPG. And I think a lot of that is because they're foreign, if that makes sense, much like a JRPG is.
Yes.
Larian and CD Projekt Red are not North American companies by any means.
No, I don't know where Larian is from, but I know CD Projekt Red is from Poland. I really hope I see those sensibilities. Where's Larian from?
I'm looking it up. I know they're not in the United States, though.
But anyways, I really hope those quirkiness and sensibilities also show up in Cyberpunk 2077. That reminds me of fucking classic 80s anime that was heavily inspired by Blade Runner. I just want to see one Bubblegum Crisis reference. Just one Bubblegum Crisis reference. Anyways, where's Larian Studio from?
Belgium.
Okay.
So we're good.
All right, let's move on to a Q&A. We only got 2 questions, but honestly, I can only answer one of them because Matt Wheaton asked, what would you guys consider game of the decade? I was thinking of saving that 2 episodes later if this channel is still alive.
That's your channel will be like. We were actually talking about doing episode game of the decade.
Yeah, but I
Games of the
want to
decade.
do another episode after that, and that's me taking a shit on the stupidest things that happened in regards to gaming 2019.
Yeah, we'll do
I know
that
it's a
too.
negative
We'll do
episode, but I think people are probably going to have fun ripping into things that we just personally don't like or think is stupid. I got a lot to say about Shenmue 3.
I've got a lot to say about Florence still.
No, I got more to say about Shenmue 3. I didn't play it, but I did see a stream from a YouTuber that not many people like, including you, but I still find pretty hilarious. I watched Silent Rob stream of Shenmue 3. Silent Rob.
Oh.
Face Destroyer Incorporated.
Yeah.
I watched all 2 hours of his stream. I know, but like I said, I personally like the guy. He's really not as bad as people paint him out to be. But I saw his stream, and I saw that game, and my jaw was like on the floor. Like it didn't evolve it devolved, and I'll explain in the next, probably in the next episode. But yeah, but the next question,
man, I got you.
What?
Hold on, real quick. I got your back on Shenmue 3. You know that.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, next question comes from
what's the next question?
BioPhoenix. Most memorable Christmas gaming memory. Since I already kind of sort of answered the first one, you want to start the next one? Or do you need to think about it?
I don't need to think about it because I answered this question on yesterday. We recorded Blast Podcasting, so we got this question too. And for me, it was with the NES game called Legendary Wings. That Capcom game.
Never played it.
I remember I didn't really. It's pretty cool. It's just like it's a weird over-top side-scrolling shmup, I guess. And what's cool about it was I never had any other NES games for the longest time, except for the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt pack-in. I used to rent a ton of games, but I never got any. And then that Christmas, I wanted Wings because I liked the cover, and I got it. And man, I played the hell out of that game. So that's all I got to say on that.
I got a few solid Christmas memories, but I think the one I want to talk about, well, it's kind of, it's 2 in 1, but they're both related to each other. They have something to do with the WCW NWO games.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was Christmas, I want to say 97. I usually get like 5 or 6 games Christmas year, and one of them, the one that I still remember from that particular year was WCW versus NWO World Tour. And I remember playing the hell out of that game, but subsequently, my stepbrother had like a PlayStation 1, and we would jump between the consoles. I mean, we would be playing Twisted Metal 2 and some of the stuff that was in the Jam Pack demo discs back in the day. And and the reason why we would be playing more of the WCW versus NWO game, because I believe that was like the 3rd game I had that actually had multiplayer up to 4 players. And I want to say there was a tag team mode in that game as well. And I just remember having a lot of pretty solid memories. Now, next year was WCW NWO Revenge. I was hardcore into WCW at that time. It was fully fleshed out because I think it was like summer I got into WCW or something. And that's when I heard about the World Tour game later on. But by then I was watching it weekly. I was watching Monday Nitro, watching the rise of Bill Goldberg, all that stuff. And Goldberg is finally in Revenge, as well as NWO Wolfpack and a bunch of other additional characters, as well as some new content, slightly better graphics, ring entrances. Even though they don't have the music, they still have ring entrances at least. I definitely did ask for that game on Christmas. Now, Christmas Eve, I think I was allowed to open one gift. And by stroke of luck, that was the game I got. And I just played the hell out of it Christmas Eve. And I just continued to keep playing it until, like, after a Christmas Eve party. And then Christmas Day, just kept playing it, winning all the title belts up to the TV title. The game was effing amazing. I would bring it over to my friend's house. We would always do 4-player matches. Oh man, good times. I wish wrestling games were great again. Man.
WWE T2K 20.
Yeah, fuck. Man, that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to go hunt my old PlayStation 2 wrestling games down and get them back.
You know that there is a wrestling game, I forgot it, Retromania, it's doing a crossover with the NWA, which I've been watching, as you know,
Uh huh.
and like it's like an old like Super NES, I guess, style arcade that era wrestling game, and that comes out this spring, include on the Switch. So that might be something to check out. It looks like it's more in line with like maybe Saturday Night Slam Masters or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds promising because I'm looking at Shikara Action Arcade Wrestling, and the customization is really deep. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Big Al loves the game to the point where he's pretty much shilling for it. But he's shown me some of his like character creations and his customizations, and they're pretty damn good. But the rest of the game just lacks in content and finesse to me. And I tried to get
I
in.
see.
I tried to get into the Fire Pro Wrestling games. I think I heard some good things about the latest one, but their gameplay is just not for me, man. Like I prefer the gameplays from the Aki engine or early Ukes era. It just even the gameplay of Rumble Roses, which was also a Ukes developed game. I played that a little bit. I was like, I still enjoy that a lot more. Ah, but
Well,
yeah,
real quick, my friend. Oh, go ahead. Real quick on. I was just gonna say on Retromania, it's actually a sequel to that old WWF WrestleFest without the WWE WWF moniker on it, and they're going to incorporate some of the characters in that, and then they're going to incorporate characters from the NWA game too.
nice.
So it's. Have you ever played WrestleFest? It's really good. WrestleFest, it's a good game,
No,
and it's
no,
and it's being licensed, and it's being developed and licensed by Technos.
that's that's wow. They're still around,
Yeah.
huh? I thought they fucking went defunct or something. That's
Well,
so
Technos is, I think, they're part of what's gonna call it,
Arc System
the
Works.
company that does yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh? Okay. Because I know they have the Kunio Kun games, and Technos is mostly known for those. Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
I'm looking at the YouTube thumbnails, and yeah, that looks pretty good. It seems promising. I just want solid gameplay
Yeah.
because I'm like one of the few people who
Yeah.
actually play those wrestling games seriously. And by seriously, I mean all my friends would rather play like multiplayer mode, no disqualification. Let's just grab a chair and start swinging each other at it. No, I actually play it like I'm playing it as a tournament game or something because I'm just like, okay, I'm using the grapples, I'm using my environment, I'm working the arms, I'm working the body, I'm putting in submissions. Yeah, I take the gameplay pretty seriously because I actually think those games are fun. All right,
It'll I it'll be good.
yeah, I hope so. Because, like I said, man, wrestling games, sports games in general, man, I feel like I want to do an episode of this sometime down the line. But sports games in general used to be fun to play as. Now they're just fucking money vacuums for people who don't know any better.
And
I,
hardcore Sims, not
yeah, I prefer. I don't mind a little bit of realism, but some arcadey stuff does keep the game fun and fresh.
hell yeah.
Which is why I kind of like
It'll be interesting.
Which is why I kind of like the early SmackDown games because they feel like a blend of both. They were trying to be realistic, but they still had some over the top silly stuff you could do in the game.
You know what? We've got those two episodes lined up, right?
Right.
The game of the decade and the shitty moments of 2019 game moments.
Yep.
I think after those two are out of the bag, we start fresh again with the sports games.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Our
All right.
our 20 minutes is almost up. Now we can move on to what this topic is about, and that is our top 5 game of the years for each of us. I decided to go top 5 for just for brevity's sake. I mean, you're still going to get 10, well, maybe 10 games. We might have something on. We haven't even looked at each other's lists, so we're going to surprise each other probably.
And one thing we agreed on
Yeah.
is we both personally have different criteria.
All right. My criteria is how much time I sunk into this game. It has to have come out this year. and I will just elaborate my reasons as to why I like this game. Now, there are some honorable mentions. There's going to be some games that are obviously not going to make it on the list, and mostly because it's not because I hate this game or anything. It's because I never got around to playing it. So Super Mario Maker 2, haven't touched that. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, haven't touched that. Monster Hunter Iceborne, I just picked that up. I really can't put it in my Game of the Year slot. So it's stuff like that. And that is my criteria. So you are going to get games this year making it to the list. Now, what about you, Magus?
Well, I always go by a different criteria. It's games that I've played for the first time this year, or if I've played it before, it had to be very, very little. So that's pretty much it. There are some 2019 games on here, but a lot of my list is going to be games that, that I've played very little of. I'll give you an example of what won't be on the list. I talk a lot about Witcher 3, but I also played about 50 hours of that on the PS4, right?
Right.
That doesn't count, even though I'm going to probably beat it. But a certain other series of games that probably know what I'm talking about, I played only a couple hours in 2016, but I really beat 2 of those games this year, and you probably know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So.
All right. So.
Yeah. So that's really my criteria.
With that said, you want to start or should I?
I'll start.
All right. Number 5.
My number 5. Number 5. It's Cuphead.
Ooh.
Never played it before this year. Yeah, never played it before this year because I don't own an Xbox. Never bought it on Steam. But when I heard it was coming on Switch, because I've always wanted to play it, that was a day one, right?
Yeah.
And I love Cuphead for a number of reasons. One, its sensibilities, what it's trying to be, an old retro-style cartoon from the maybe late 20s to early 40s.
Yeah, Fleischer
I love
era.
that aspect of it. I love the difficulty. I know it's a hard game, but it's hard for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cheap hard. There's a difference. I always elaborate on that.
Yeah, I've actually picked up Cuphead last year on Steam, played the hell out of it, and yeah, the game's really, really good. Don't have much to say. I do like King Dice's theme song when you go to his house all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a damn good fun little game. So there you go.
All right. My number 5, this one has an honorable mention attached to it, I'll explain. And this is going to be a very unorthodox pick. But I'm going to put fitness boxing for the Switch on there. Because, well, the game did come out this year. But
yes, it did.
But that was the game that just helped me on a personal level. I used that as an exercise machine. I tried the demo out once last year. I felt like I worked up a sweat, and that's when it kind of clicked on me. I said, I'm going to get this game, and I'm going to use it to exercise and get better. I was starting at 322 pounds. I am down to 185. Yeah, I lost a shitload of weight. There was another video game that helped, and that goes to the honorable mention. That is Ring Fit Adventure. Now, I would probably recommend that over fitness boxing if you're looking for a workout game. But obviously the game came out mid-October, and I did sink a good amount of time to it, and it is really fun, and I've been playing that a little more just to strengthen my muscles and shit. But fitness boxing is where it all started with me, and that's why that game is going to be on my number 5. It really did help me out. To all those fucking people who tell you you're just going to get fat playing video games, y'all can suck it. Video games help me lose weight.
Well, look at it this way, man. If you made it here's the way I look at it. If you made it number 1 on your list, I get it. I fucking totally get it. If you made it number 1.
Oh yeah, but I have games. I do like. But the thing is, I do have games I like more, and I would rather play more. But this one's just a very personal best. But yeah,
I mean, I can understand that.
I mean, I wasn't tempted to put it on number one on my list. I really wasn't. In fact, there's two games that were dueling for that number one spot, but I thought, you know what? I think starting at number five would just be we'd be off to a good start for my
Oh
list.
yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Why don't you start off number 4?
Okay, number four. Number four is going to be a very unusual pick because this game actually technically came out late 2018. And it is my personal favorite fighting game of 2019. And it's going to shock some people. It's probably going to piss off some other people. But I'm just going to fucking say it. Even I'm shocked that this is coming out of my mouth, considering my stance on this franchise up until this point. But I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a fighting game. I fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
It is a great game.
Darkscream, I need to get this out of the way. It's my number 4 as well.
Okay, so we just made number four for both of us. That's great. Dude, okay, so why Smash Ultimate? Well, I know people are debating whether or not it's a fighting game. Well, here's the thing. It shows up at Evo. It makes bank at Evo. It's not a traditional fighting game, but it's a fighting game nonetheless. Now, granted, the Smash community, I still don't give a shit about, but that really has no effect on the gameplay itself. But first off, content-wise, it does so much shit I wish most modern fighting games would do. And that is give us plenty of characters, give us plenty of play modes for single-player mode, just in case, not everyone is into online mode or the servers might be down or something. I mean, there's classic mode, which is great because classic mode caters to like every individual character you play as. Like, for example, have you played any of the classic mode in Smash Ultimate? Any of
Yes. Yes,
so,
I have.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I like the Street Fighter one because, yeah. Because the Street Fighter one emulates Street Fighter 2 with non-Street Fighter characters. Like, there's a fight with a green Donkey Kong in a jungle area, which, that emulates you fighting Blanca.
And then you have like a fight with Giant Lil Mac, and it's supposed to emulate Balrog, and he'll try to fight in Balrog style. And that transitions to the spirit system in the game, which replaces the trophies in previous Smash games. And this is another improvement because instead of trophies, you collect like classic artwork of like characters from franchises that date back to the 80s. But you have to like fight them in these little battles that, again, cater to their like play styles and stuff. And I've been just spending countless hours playing the spirit board. Oh, and another thing I love about this game, again, some people might think I'm crazy because this is such a classic thing to do, but I love the fact that when you start the game for the first time, you only have 8 characters to play as from the start. 80% of the cast is locked away. You have to like play.
It took me about 10 hours to unlock them last year.
I want to say it took about the same time on my end too. I know it took like 2 days. The last guy I had to unlock was Greninja, but I love that. It was just crazy and rewarding, and it just kind of heightened the experience up for me more. Everyone else probably got upset about that because they just want to play the character right away and go through tournament mode, yada yada yada. But no, man, I was a patient dude. I was patient. I love that. Yeah. And the online itself is pretty damn good. I never had any lag or anything. I really did enjoy the hell out of this game. Oh, and let's not forget the DLC they keep adding to the game keeps getting better and better. They started things off
full. Did they reveal the 5th character?
Not yet. I think they're going to reveal it at Jeff Keighley's Dorito Awards show.
The what?
Jeff Keighley's Dorito Awards show. You know, are you not familiar with the Dorito Pope memes? Okay. Well, I don't think I'm gonna watch that show. I'm just gonna wait until 5 minutes after. That's when all the announcements are gonna get spoiled anyways on Twitter or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that last character is gonna get revealed. I don't know who it is. I don't care because honestly, I'm happy with Joker, the hero from Dragon Quest, Terry friggin' Bogard. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It's not a fighting game, but there are 3 fighting game characters in there, and they play just like their fighting game counterparts in other games. Like Terry actually
Mm-hmm.
has 4 different special moves. He has his power dunk, crack shoot, power wave, rising tackle. He could do his
Yeah.
Buster Wolf and his power geyser, not as final smash attacks either. He actually has like his own personal meter building shit. It's stuff like this. I wish, because most fighting games nowadays, like, they don't look terrible. They look good, but they don't look $60 good anymore. I just don't feel like I've
Yeah.
invested good money anymore in these games at this point. I'm like just gonna be waiting for price drops for every single one of them, despite Grand Blue Fantasy looking pretty decent so far.
I'm gonna say this real quick about Smash because you really took the words out of my mouth. But it's a great game. Fun fact: we are recording on the 8th of December. It came out December 7th, 2018. So we're just basically on its 1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
And it's a game that still keeps on giving and giving and giving. And it's a fantastic fucking game. There's
yeah.
nothing bad I can say about it.
Like, even if they didn't have the DLC characters, even if they didn't announce Simon and King K. Rool, like, they just said, okay, it's everyone from the previous Smash games plus Inkling and Daisy and I forgot who else Ridley. I was already on board, even though I wasn't a hardcore Smash Brothers player. I mean, I haven't really enjoyed a game this much since Melee, and that's like a long time. It's been like 15
That
years.
is a long time.
But yeah, love the shit out of Smash Bros. Ultimate as as just a game in general, and as a fighting game, I'll play it. But like I said, it's gonna piss people off. But yeah, that's how I like. That's just me, man. That's me. You don't have to agree. Anyways, that was your number 4.
I agree with you though. So there you go. That was my number 4. We need to move on to number 3, and I think I can start this bad boy off.
All right, what is it?
So for me, it's one of the games that mentioned that it's not going to be on your list, and I understand why because you haven't had a chance to play it. Super Mario Maker 2.
Awesome. I want to
Super
play
Mario
it.
Maker 2 is a lot of it's a lot of fun. It's just consume hours. They've added some new content to it recently where you can play as Link,
I heard about that.
which is pretty cool. You could pick up the Master Sword. One of my favorite things that they added was you could pick up the flower from Super Mario Land and have a GBA colored Mario, which is really cool.
Neat.
So I mean, they've done a lot of you'll hear the music from Super Mario Land on that. It's really a fun game. It really, really is, and it's got a lot going for it. And I think it's such an improvement over the original. I like the original, but there were some things like everything unlocks over a timed period and just stuff like that. But not with this game. This game had a story mode that was a lot of fun, and it's just a better game in every which way.
Yeah, I really want to play that game, but
Which way.
it barely goes on sale. And I just don't have a whole lot of money to spend. I've been trying to be conservative with my money. I mean, like I said, all those games I went hog wild on, they were never full. None of them were full price. They were like $40 at max.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
who knows? Maybe Nintendo will be generous and have a Christmas sale because most of their first party stuff is always stuck in full price. I'm still waiting for a price drop on Mario Kart 8 because I want to play that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario Maker 2 was just on my list, but something came up financially. I couldn't get the game right away. So, but like I said, I've heard fantastic
what
things
else
about it. And it seems like a game that will be endless fun because people will create content for that game all the time. Like on the Switch, on the Switch news bulletin board, they actually like advertise, "Hey, here's some indie game developers, some popular indie game devs that actually made stages of their own." I'm like, I want to see what they had to offer.
Yeah,
I want to play Mario Returns from the War.
for sure. Oh, I played that one. Yes, I played that one. That one is Mario Returns from the War is interesting because it's not a traditional Mario level, but it's a good way to tell a story, if that makes sense.
I gotcha.
With Mario Maker, that's what it was intended to do, and it's fun and it's interesting to run through it a couple times to pick up on it because so many people do crazy things like I've seen table tennis games and all that stuff, and it's worked well. But that Mario Returns from the War kind of inspired me someday to create a story-based level, and that's what's really neat about Mario Maker. So there you go.
All right. All right, number 3 on my list. This one is going to be an obvious pick for everyone. This game, I'm not a big fan of this genre, but when I was a kid, I did play the hell out of this game a lot because it was like super popular at the time, and I managed to get a port of it from the N64 way back when after renting it from PlayStation a few times. And it was a game I've been kind of asking for to be remade for years now, and then finally got my wishes. Resident Evil 2. That is my number 3.
It,
Holy
that's a
shit,
good
this
one.
game
It's
is
a really good
woo.
one.
I loved it. I loved the hell out of it. I love the fact that this game scared me so many damn times. It is so much. It did so many things that just better than the original version. Like, and
Yeah.
they managed to make it play kind of like the over the shoulder Resident Evil games, but they didn't make it too actiony. They actually found a way to make it work as a survival horror game. Like most zombies would be bullet sponges. Leon's aim is fucking terrible. As well as Claire's. And oh man, yeah, if anyone plays this game on PlayStation, put the damn headphones on. You wanna hear that.
Yeah.
You wanna hear that because it was scary all the time. Oh, and Mr. X. Let's not forget about him. Wow, they've definitely improved the hell out of that character like tenfold. And I mean, I have some criticisms here and there. Like, when you get to the second half of each of Leon and Claire's story, nothing really changes. So when you go for like Leon A, Claire B, or Claire A, Leon B, like the second half of their second halves are virtually pretty much the same, and that's like explore through sewers, fight the same bosses, except for the one before the final boss for the true ending route, and and that was it. But yeah, the game was really fun. I loved the hell out of it. It was scary. It was gory. I am kind of excited for Resident Evil 3 because I heard rumors. Well, there was some artwork leak. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently Resident Evil 3 remake is happening, and they already have like redesigns for Jill, Carlos, and the Nemesis. Now I didn't.
I'll have to. I have it,
You have.
but let me say something real quick. I have it, but my PS4 was overheating, and while I fixed that, I hope I will argue this. I loved what I played. The only reason is because I'm scared of it overheating. But it is a great game. But I didn't play enough of it for it to be on my list.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the overheating issue. It has nothing to do with the game. The same thing with Devil May Cry 5. So.
All right. So yeah, Resident Evil 2. I don't know what else to say. A lot of people probably said it better. I did one speed run of this game and got me the pistol with unlimited ammo. I tried some of the DLC missions. They're pretty challenging, so I may have to go back to them. But like I said, rock solid. I fucking love it.
Awesome.
You're
Awesome.
number. We're still on number 3. No, we're on number 2 now, right?
Yeah, I did number 3.
All right.
Okay, so you want? Yeah, I'll go with number 2. My number 2 is easy. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fucking fantastic game. Fucking fantastic story. One of the best Fire Emblem games. The ultimate Fire Emblem game when it comes to replayability. The way to do multiple perspectives in a game so well. I mean, it's such a good game. Such a good game in every way possible. I mean, it's just a great cast of characters, depending on what house you choose to. But I think they're all great from what I've heard. I've only really done Black Eagles. But man, I've sunk so many hours in that fucking game. It's worth it. It's really worth it.
Yeah, I played a lot of.
I love the turn-based.
Go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I mean, it's Okay, and plus also the game is very much in some ways like game I other game or two I will mention later on,
All right.
but that makes it even much better. And you know what I'm talking about. So I loved it. I love the school aspect. I love you're an instructor. I loved it. So
Yeah, I really like Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot. As well, everything you said was pretty much the same. I have some problems with the story, and I was also on the Black Eagles, but I don't want to go into it because of spoilers. But I haven't finished the
okay,
game yet. I just started the time skip scenario, and that's put on ice until I can get finished with a couple other RPGs. Um, one of them being my number one on the list, foreshadowing. And but yeah, it's a solid game, and I do want to pick up some of the DLC for it. Uh, I do hope to get back to that game soon, because it is really damn good. And yeah, it is inspired by another. There were some inspirations from another franchise or whatever. We'll get to that later. But anyways, we are on numero dos, right?
what is your numero dos?
This game, um, had some crazy marketing at the beginning of the year by putting like jumping on the virtual YouTuber bandwagon sort of, and I did not know what to make out of it, but it had something to do with one of my favorite direct video game directors since 2012, and he finally got a game out this year, and I even did a video on it. But number two would be
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's the Somnium Files. It is pretty much a spiritual successor to fucking Snatcher and one of those point and click adventure mystery games. In a way, and to describe it, try to describe it as simple as possible. I like to call it, it's like Snatcher meets Inception, if that makes any sense. Because
Gotcha.
dreams do get involved. You have to go into people's dreams and memories and do some weird, quirky puzzles. The game's got some very quirky Uchikoshi humor in there that's just really bizarre, and sometimes it does suck the serious tone out of it hardcore. Like, oh my god, you're fighting against a group of mercenaries and they immediately get distracted by porno magazines? Are you serious? Yeah, that actually happened at one point in the game. But that being said,
It reminds me of Metal Gear.
yeah, I guess in a way. I mean, this guy is basically a lesser known Kojima, but I don't think he's completely batshit insane. At least he can tell something that's structural and makes sense, even when it kind of
And that has
doesn't.
gameplay in it.
Yeah,
That's
that.
not just walking.
I see you got some things to say about Death Stranding, do you? But
You know what? We'll save it for the other episode that we're gonna do.
all right then. Um, but but yeah, it was a fantastic game. I recommend it. It's on Switch. It's on PS4. I picked it up on Switch because it's more like a visual novel, and I like to play visual novels on a handheld or sometimes on a PC, but never on a console. That's just my preference. The voice acting is really rock solid too in English. This game was just hell of fun. I sung like for 2 weeks. I didn't take a break from playing that game. Like for about
I remember I saw you on the.
2 weeks straight. Every time I come on, I just want to go back to playing that game more, solving more of this murder mystery, getting more questions, trying to get the answers. It was just crazy. The fact that I got that game finished that quick surprised me. But it was like time well spent. Even though it was a $55 game, and it took me roughly about, man, I want to say, maybe 20, 25 hours. I need to check. It was still worth it full price for me. Oh,
Hell yeah! It's one that I want to check out eventually down the line. Just right now, I've got an incredible amount of games, and I might be purchasing a certain re-release of a classic RPG that came out Friday.
oh yeah. Oh, we could say what it is.
Yeah,
Just in case,
Star Ocean it's the
just in case people
from
don't
the
know.
first Star Ocean.
Just in case people don't know, because I didn't know about this until the day after the game was released. But A remake of Star Ocean First Departure just got released on the Switch.
And what they need to do now is release the superior sequel.
Well, I have to buy the first game first then. Just to tell them.
Well, you don't.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
giving them
just to
money though. Just giving them money and say, hey, I heard your sequel's better. Can you put that out? Because I hate it when people put out the first editions of certain games, but they omit the second one, which is better. Like Jet Set Radio did this on the they re-released Jet Set Radio, but I thought Jet Set Radio Future was better. The fucking PlayStation Classic has Twisted Metal 1, but not Twisted Metal 2, which is the more popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess they got it right with Tekken 3 on the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah. But.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm done talking about the Somnium Files. Now we're moving on to our number ones.
I don't. You know what? I know what your number one is. I know what my number one is. They're gonna cross over. You know what I'm talking about.
All right.
I'm gonna cheat on mine.
You're gonna what?
Cheat on mine.
All right, cheat. Cheat away.
Cheat away. It's not one, but two games. Cold Steel 1 and 2. Two of the best JRPGs I've played in since probably Persona 5. And yes, they came out before Persona 5, but goddamn, they're good. Their stories are excellent. I need to play more of the third one. I really, I felt a little bit more obligated to Witcher 3, which you can understand why, right?
To be fair, those you did play the PlayStation 4 re-releases, and they did technically come out in 2019, so they did.
That is true. That's very true. Good point. That's a very good point. And they're excellent ports. I mean, if you love JRPGs, and I know a lot of people who love JRPGs, but for whatever reason, they've missed this series, you have to play them. There's no ifs and buts about it. Darkscream has laid into me over the years. And then I finally heard about the PS4, so I'll sink it in. And then once I fucking finally sink in, because I did play them in 2016, if you recall, right?
Yeah, you did. Well, 2017.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But I liked him, but man, when you really sink your teeth into them, they are just fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and I need to play more of 3, but there you go.
Yeah, the Trails series in general, Legend Heroes Trails series, because that includes Trails in the Sky, which I also recommend playing those games. I finished the first one this year. I'm in the middle of the second one. I bought Trails in the Sky the third on Steam, which unfortunately it's currently exclusive to Steam. But I plan to play those games because, unlike most RPGs, they try to be standalone entries. It is part of a shared universe. And you do see, and it's not like hidden Easter eggs here and there. It's one of the few games that takes its world building very, very seriously. Like the whole.
It's one of the few games that have. Oh, go ahead.
It's a game that takes place throughout this whole continent of Zemuria. Trails and Skies take place in a small continent country called Liberl. Cold Steel takes place in Erebonia, which was the bigger empire. They also have the Crossspell art games, which have yet to be released, but there have been fan-translated patches. If I finish all the previous games, I might just get those. I don't know. But unless there's a fucking surprise announcement coming my way. But yeah, these games are just effing fantastic. They are slow burns because a lot of them have
yes,
especially if you want to do almost all the side quests there, but they are worth it. They are just very, very much time well spent on these games and their characters, and the gameplay for each entry just keeps getting better and better.
But you know what? I'll say this: they are slow burns, but one thing they sell to you right away is character. Is character right fucking away? Just character. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that sold me the first time I played it was just the conflict between Eustace and Machias, Machias. how do you say it? Whatever. But you know what I mean.
Machias.
Macias, yeah, Macias. I mean, that was really what sold me was the conflict between those two just right off the bat in that first game, and then the interactions amongst the other characters, and then as you delve deeper into the game, man, their relationships and their backstories are just so fucking fleshed out so well. I mean, you really, really, if like I said, those first two games are my game of the year because they are just absolutely astounding. And I really should start playing more of the third one, but I will after I get a couple things. Because to be honest, as much as I love them, I don't want to get burnt out, because I pretty much played them back to back.
All right.
And
now we
needed a break, so there you go.
So
what's your number one?
Number one is my JRPG pick. Fire Emblem Three Houses was solid, but it just didn't make the cut. But obviously, Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 made the cut. Oh, man. When I heard this game got announced and it was handled by a different licensing company, I was nervous, like scared even, because I've heard some stories. Granted, one of our viewers, BioPhoenix, he tried to downplay that, the Ease 8 localization wasn't as bad as people said it was, or he didn't notice the problems, but apparently people did. Enough to get NIS, to make an announcement and do some fixes here and there. But when I looked into it deeper and found out that they were trying to get as many as the people from former Exceed staff to work on this game, my hopes were raised up a little bit more and more. And when the game came out, I've only noticed like one huge technical error in the library. Hopefully that gets patched and fixed. Well, it's not a big deal, but that is something that looks like an easy fix. But the game, even with some of the missing voice actors, they had to change a few side characters' voice actors. Even then, the game felt like nothing's really changed when they jumped from company to company. It really didn't. It still felt very consistent, which is good because, again, part of a shared universe. In fact, this is some news I got to announce in regards to this game that's both good and bad at the same time. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is getting a Switch port in the spring of next year.
Oh, yeah.
Good news and bad news. Good news, Nintendo's can finally experience this fucking wonderful RPG. Bad news, I can't recommend this as your starting point. This game does take place like in the second half of the Erebonia arc, and they try to make it as an entry point for newcomers. Because they do have like a fucking encyclopedia in the main menu where you can like recap the events of the first two games and look up all the characters and words and lore, yada yada yada, to get everyone up to speed just in case they can't spend 100+ hours on previous games. But the way the game is written, like even I'm getting spoiled on things from the Trails in the Sky games that I have yet to get to when playing Cold Steel 3 because I'm kind of zigzagging between the two games. And not to mention, there's been some stuff from the Crossbell arc that got introduced in the third game. Like one of the party members from the Crossbell arc is one of the teachers that you partner up with in the game. Well, he's not a party member, but he's one of the faculty members in that game. And you do hang out with him a lot. But it still doesn't change the fact that this game was fucking fantastic. The gameplay is definitely better. They've added new features like the order system, which gives you like temporary buffs and stuff. They added an armor break system that kind of reminds me of Neptunia's armor break system of all games to compare it to. But I'm still loving it. I'm like most of the game, I don't even just zigzag through everything. I don't like just blitz through everything. I've been taking my time interacting with some of the student NPCs, what they've been doing and stuff. Not because it would trigger a side mission or anything, just because I just wanted to get to know him a little bit. Because in this game, Reed Swisher is actually a teacher now. He's no longer a student. He now teaches at a military academy. Yep. So that's pretty cool. And another funny thing is, in relation to The Witcher 3. They have a Witcher 3-esque minigame in Trails of Cold Steel 3 now. They
Oh yeah,
actually,
that card game I heard about, which I haven't played.
in the first two games they had Blade, which was like a simple card game, but now Trails of Cold Steel 3 has Vantage Masters, which is based off of an earlier Falcom RPG, and it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely the game is definitely more deeper than Blade. It's not the deepest game. In fact,
Okay.
I've been winning all my fucking Blade matches up to this point. Not Blade, my Masters matches, and been getting everyone's cards. But I've been having a lot of fun playing that too. It's This game is just freaking amazing.
It's
I
not
haven't
Gwent,
even.
is what you're saying.
Well, Gwent is similar too, because I found out that, there's a particular deck or two that you can use and it will just get you easy wins, those being the Northern Kings because of the spy system in it. Now, I played a little more of the actual Gwent game that's on PlayStation, and they definitely tried to balance it out more, but yeah, I haven't even finished Cold Steel 3 yet. I plan to do so within the next couple of weeks. I haven't finished it, but I know it's going to be number one on my list. And I've already heard stuff about what Nightman and BioPhoenix told me. They said, wow, what an ending. That's all I got to say. And that's all you need to say, because that gives me expectations to be excited for the fourth game, which I do hope it does come out. Hopefully by next year. When I heard that the Switch was getting ported, there were some people pretty excited about it, but they also said, "Wow, this would not be a good entry point though for fans of this franchise."
No,
No,
no, it's not. They
even
really need to port the first two.
even if you try to like go in there with the mindset of the two new students they have in there, Yuna and Kurt, they still have some backstory baggage in relation to previous games. Like, Yuna is a citizen from Crossbell, so she's obviously going to mention a lot of Crossbell arc stuff. And Kurt is actually the half-brother of a party member from the Trails games, being Muller Vander. So they keep referencing those two characters a lot. And one of the other students in your party used to be an antagonist in the second game.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you which one.
yeah,
You probably know who it is,
I know who it is though.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. Um, but yeah, this franchise is exciting. Like, you got to get into it if you love JRPGs. It should be
And
on more people's top fives.
I'll say this too. What about the fourth game? Actually, before I say what I have to say, any word on the fourth game?
Not yet. There might be an announcement sometime next year, or until I beat the game. Because weirdly enough, 2 days after I beat Trails of Cold Steel 2, which was actually the beginning of this year, 2 days later, the third game got announced. So maybe they're waiting
Nice.
on me. I don't know. It's kind of weird that happened. But I am hoping for the fourth game, because it would suck for at least the Erebonia arc to end right there for us. Maybe if we scream loud enough, they'll give it to us.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are our top games of the year. We
Yeah.
got 2020 coming up, which has some big stuff.
Yeah. Cyberpunk. Fuck yeah.
Final Fantasy VII
Ye-
remake. Fuck yeah.
Part 1 of question mark.
Yeah, but still.
I'm still fucking skeptic about the episodic content shit. Maybe I'd be less skeptic
see.
if they actually tell us how many fucking entries this game is going to have and when they're coming out.
It's most likely gonna be 3. There
I
you
hope
go.
so. Some people are saying that game. Some people are saying it might be 4. I'm
I
like,
could do 4. No more than 4 though.
but I'm I hope all those games come out on PlayStation 4 and they don't just fucking cockblock you and force you to get a PS5. That's
Oh,
my
you
biggest
know,
problem. They just
that could-
released that game right when Sony announces a new bullshit console, which I'm not going to get right away at launch. So yeah, I'm still nervously skeptic about this system.
We'll
mean, it
see,
looks
though. I
good.
think it's gonna be a solid game.
Yeah, I think people.
Yeah, it's gonna be excellent. I think.
I hope so. God, what else? Oh yeah, Doom Eternal. Ah, man, can't wait to rip more demon spines and shoving them up their asses.
Yeah, not my thing, but your thing. I think it's
Persona
going to be
5
great. There's some
Royal.
stuff going. Oh yes, I'm excited for that.
Well,
March.
I wanted to go in as cold as possible with Persona 5 Royal. I don't want to know all the gameplay features. I just need to know this since it's coming out on PS4. Will I new game plus it with my save data from the previous game? Yes or no? If yes, then I'm getting it. If no, then I might wait a while.
They did do that with
Yeah, they did.
Fest.
Yeah, they did.
Persona 3 Fest.
So there's really no excuse for them to not do it
So
for this game. No excuse.
yeah, for sure, for sure. No excuse.
Because I just want
All
to I
right,
just
man.
want to
I think.
I just want to experience the new
Oh, go ahead.
content, which they probably shoved in who knows about 30 more hours. Because Persona 4 Golden had a lot of new content, and I played those. I played 4 and
It,
Golden back to back.
I know it was a lot of content. So
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it is time for us to wrap it up.
yep. And make sure you check out our channels: www.youtube.com/darkscream, www.youtube/Magus61.
Yeah, I will post
There you
links in the
go.
description below. We also have a Discord for you guys to join and discuss about things in regards to this podcast or gaming or TV in general. And I hope I will get back to doing regular content sometime in the future. I've been getting a little lazy on that, but whatever. So, with that, this is Darkscream signing out.